Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelly Lee. If you are new here, I talk about all things witchy and spiritual in my life, as well as aromatherapy. I am a certified aromatherapist and an herbalist, and I talk about all of those things. Today we are getting into my health / low spoons witchcraft. So before I get into the whole low spoons theory, spoon theory in general, all of those things, I will just do an update on my health. So I have mentioned before on this channel that I do suffer from a few chronic illnesses. I am in perpetual chronic pain. I have anxiety. I have all of, these things. I do have rheumatoid arthritis. I am in the process of getting diagnosed with EDS, which is Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. If you don't know what Ehlers-Danlos syndrome is, if you want me to do like a whole video on it, I can, because I could. It's basically, the most common one is hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos, where your joints are very wobbly and very prone to dislocations or just pain in general. And my rheumatoid arthritis and my EDS is connected. I actually, just the other night, I fell down the stairs. Well, not completely down the stairs, but my knee gave out and I tumbled down the last like 4 or 5 steps of the stairs, and my hip was hurting for a long time because that can cause my hip to pop out of place. But I also have chronic migraines, which really affects me, which is also connected with EDS. So all of my chronic illnesses are connected to each other. I do also have anxiety. I don't sleep very well because of my EDS and my joints aching. But to say all of that, this is why I am very well versed in low spoons witchcraft, low to no spoons witchcraft. So, the spoon theory, if you've never heard of this theory before, and I took some notes just so I would make sure and hit like all the things. So low spoon theory is a concept that is basically used to describe the amount of energy you have for like tasks and activities throughout the day, the energy you have for those things, right? It's like how much physical or mental energy that a person has available to them for these tasks and activities. How many spoons a person uses to accomplish things is different for everyone, and how many spoons people start with is different for everyone. So, example. So for me, say I wake up and I have a total of 15 spoons, right? Me getting up and getting dressed could take 5 spoons, right? Me going to work and working, my normal 7 to 3:30 could take 7 spoons, right? So then I'm left with, 3 spoons. So when I get home, I don't have a lot of energy left for picking up the house or showering or going out and being social or doing all of those other things. So I would only have 3 spoons left. So I would have to choose whether I use those spoons on cooking and making dinner, on showering, on taking, my dogs for a walk, on doing all of these things, right? And usually people with low spoons or people who use up more spoons than typically normal, they can go into the negative, which causes them to have less spoons the next day, right? So it takes a lot for me to do normal everyday tasks. I wake up so like I said before, I don't sleep very well. And so I do wake up very stiff, usually in pain. Like this morning, I did wake up with a pounding headache. I was a little nauseous. I was very stiff. I was very achy. I didn't sleep very well. So it took me a long time to actually like loosen up, to get moving, to get downstairs and get my coffee and take the dogs out. So what would, like on a good day, take me 5 spoons, you know, to like to get up and get dressed and get my day started, took like 10, you know. And witchcraft and spirituality is a huge part of my life, so I do try to always incorporate it, even if I don't have a lot of spoons, right? So what I do every day to stay connected to my spirituality, to my spiritual path, that for me is very low effort. It's something that I know I will be able to do almost every single day. It's something that I can count on, that I will be able to do, so that I don't get that disappointment of if I plan something and then on the day I just don't have the spoons, or my body is just telling me that I cannot do it. I don't get that disappointment afterwards, right? Like tarot is a very big part of my life. Even if I just shuffle the cards, right? Even if I just shuffle a deck of cards and flip over a few and just look at the artwork. Incense, I burn a lot of incense in my house because number one, I burn specific incense for my deities. I burn specific incense for my ancestor altar. I burn just incense in general as a form of my spirituality and setting the mood. Candles. I burn a lot of candles. I do have multiple working candles. Whenever I am here in my office, I do like to have a candle lit. It's kind of like me setting the tone and letting my mind know that this candle is lit. I am in, you know, like my spiritual space. I am in here. I am like working, or I'm doing tarot pulls, or I'm working with clients, or, you know, like I'm doing, you know, the things. YouTube. How I have found that I can still feel connected to my spirituality and the people in my community is by watching witchy YouTube videos, witchy hauls, witchy tarot unboxings, witches moon unboxings, people talking about their spiritual path, anything witchy that I can find and that interests me on YouTube, I will watch, and it helps me still feel like I am connected in some way in my spiritual path, even if I don't have the spoons or my body is just not inclined to actually do anything big. My witchy room in general. So just coming in here and sitting down and being just in the presence of my tarot decks and my books and my candles and my oils, and just sitting and just looking at them can also very much help me feel very connected to my spirituality. I have a big window in here that's right over here that looks outside. It looks onto a big patch of woods. So I can see nature, I can see my candles, my tarot decks, my pictures, all of my things, and it helps me feel connected. And then just going outside and just sitting outside, not really doing anything. Sometimes I will just take a blanket, I'll lay it out on the ground, and I will just either lay or just sit out there, burn an incense, maybe shuffle some cards, maybe journal, you know, like a little bit. I don't do a lot of big ritualistic things. I tend to save those for when me and my friends get together, and that's when we will normally do most of our bigger like rituals or spell castings or things that we want to do. So I tend to save my things for those nights so that I can prepare myself. I look forward to those nights, and so I know in some way, shape, or form I will get that ritual done because I have my besties there. They can help me with parts of it, all of the good things. So I tend to space my big rituals out. I tend to have other people there. Whenever I do a solo big ritual, I always do a like tentative date of when I want to do it because I never know how my body is going to feel. I never know if I'm going to get a headache or a migraine. I never know just what's going to be in the cards for me that day. What's going to be in the cards for me that day. So I tend to be very tentative on my solo big ritual things. Those of you who are also in the low to no spoons community, know you are not alone. I know for me, it took me a long time to accept and come to the fact that I'm just not going to be one of those people who can do all of the things. I'm just not one of those people who can do the big rituals and, you know, do all the things, right? Me just filming a YouTube video can sometimes take a lot out of me, just preparing for it and mentally, you know, like writing down and mapping out what I'm going to talk about, sitting down and doing it, editing, uploading. That's also a lot. And so I do try to, because I do enjoy this so much, I do try to incorporate parts of my spirituality with this. Like I'm burning incense right now. Whenever I'm going through the video and I'm editing, I will light a candle or I will pull a tarot card to just sit with while I'm doing other things. So I tend to incorporate it in things that I'm doing that could potentially take a lot of energy. I do try to incorporate little witchy things in that as well. But know that you are not alone. Know that there are others of us out here. I am one of the also invisible illness group as well. To look at me, you wouldn't think that I suffered from so much pain every day, but I do, and I endure it, and I do the best that I can, and I know that you do as well. So just know you're not alone. We are out here. If you ever need to talk, let me know. I am an open ear, willing to talk about whatever comes up or however you want to see about how you want to do things to accommodate your low to no spoons. But we're here. We're out there. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching my quick little video on Spoons Witchcraft. I wish you all the best. Thank you for stopping by. Do all the things. Comment, like, subscribe, and I will see you next time.